like a normal tractor, right? Sure. But look at that. Look at that. So I was plowing with this 2 winters ago, and the snow just kept getting on my head, and I didn't like it a bit. So I have a 4010. You can't see it now. It's behind the bus down there, but and so it's cab tractor, and I wanted to put that cab on this tractor, and then that's a lot of work, so I want to fix that tractor. So why tear it apart? But that cab has got fenders built into the cab. This tractor had what they call clamshell fenders. I can show you an example of one later, but it basically just comes up and rolls and stops. Well, these were on that 4010 down there, and I figured, well, there's a matching set, and the rust that you see is actually over a piece of the frame, and it's solid, so it didn't affect it at all. So I bolted them on here and love them. Well, then, of course, back to the roof. In the rain, you get wet as heck, obviously, because that's what rain does. Rain gets you wet. But I wanted a roof, and I didn't have one. But I did have an old bed liner. So I did a quick measurement, and by cutting inside of the wheel wells and then cutting the front and the back off, look at that. That's what you get. That's the size. And there's those bolt holes. That's what you used to bolt it. I think it's upside down. This is actually the top where you would slide stuff into your bed, and this is where the tailgate would be. And so those bolted it down to the bed. So what I did, obviously, you can see that, I took these old pieces of angle iron, and there was a couple holes here, and they're not tight right now, are they? This thing's been used quite a bit. Anyhow, we'll tighten them up later. So I put a piece of angle iron upright and sat on the tractor and figured out my headroom, what I needed, and put one over there. Had to hook two of them together up there, and then did the same thing back here. You better not be rolling or anything, Lily. Mama's gonna yell at you. Yes, she will. Don't you tell me she won't. Don't you turn your back on me. Hey, am I talking to you? Yeah, all right. You don't roll and stuff. She does that all the time. Mama yells at her so bad. Well, she does get stinky, and she sleeps in the same bed, so Lily gets stinky, not Mommy. Anyway, yeah. So these, I had put it at an angle because I thought it would help with the shimmying and the rocking and the rolling kind of thing, which maybe it does, but it really doesn't. And like right now, this is kind of straight, and you can see that one's leaned over to the right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another piece, and I'm gonna go from here to there on both sides, and I'm gonna do the same thing back here, except back here I'll probably go bigger, and I'll go like from halfway up to make this circle, because I don't go through here ever. You can see I did that over there, and that's why the back is stiff, like I'm shaking it, don't move, but the front I didn't do that. So even if I only put one up there, but if I do two and make them smaller, it'll probably be better than the one. And then it was bowing in the middle, so I hooked a couple of these together, and I think these are, I don't know if they're bed rails off old beds or if they're just angle iron pieces, but you see I bolted two of them together in the middle and put them on there, and then bolted them through here. And it was still kind of weird, but this bed was old, this bed liner. So it was bowing down here. So I put this across, just a piece of angle iron. I didn't cut anything special. I just made the holes match. I didn't even go 90 degrees. But half of that was so that when I got on the tractor, I could kind of come along the same angle and you wouldn't whack your head. And then I used a couple zip straps where needed. Like I just drilled holes there on the high points because the water runs in the valleys, obviously. And used a zip strap there, one in the back there, one over there. And then, look at this ingenuity. Look at that beautiful light. That's really bright too. That's one of them that's got LED, it's all LED, and it's got flood and spot. So it's bright. And then I wired fuses actually on the negative and the positive side. And the only reason I did that is because I had spade connectors there. That's the only reason I did it. And it works. It probably shouldn't. And I've never seen fuses on the ground side of anything. But now you have. There it is. So then I came down here and it's got a relay and all that mess there. And then you got the button and that turns it on and off. Now it's on, now it's off. And you can turn it on with the tractor not running. Let's see if you can see. There, now it's on. Yeah, you can see. I mean, we're outside. It's bright and hot and it's bright even there. So it sticks out. I had it stick out forward over the battery box because I don't have the cover to this anymore. It's 1968. So it sticks out about a foot further. So when the water runs off, it hits somewhere on the hood here. And once it's straight, if it was straightened up this way like it's supposed to be, then it covers about half the fender, so the water would hit here and roll off what would, otherwise it runs forward and back. I put a set of gauges in it just because. There's a voltmeter. This is factory water temp. The tack is a newer one, but I think the cable is broke. And then the fuel gauge is one that you can order online. And I ordered the sending unit also, and so it works. So if I flick the key on, there's the fuel. You can see it come up, and you can see the battery comes up. And then once it starts up, you'll see it. The charging goes up even higher. So that is that. That's how you use an old truck bed liner to cover the roof of your tractor. Bye-bye. Stay safe.